Good evening, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shaka taking a look at what is going to be one heck of a winter storm coming up Thursday here for southern New England. So I have some guidance that we could look at, but this is a serious storm, and I'll explain why over the course of the video here. So let's first of all start off with the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Taunton, their hazard map, and you can see there is a winter storm watch that is issued here in blue. And also underneath that, there is a high wind watch, which is this beige color here. You just don't see it because it's an overlap. But if you were to click on one of these points, there is a high wind watch in effect. And what we will see tomorrow in the forecast discussion is that if obviously the winds will remain at the intensity of what they're going to be, we will see a blizzard warning replace the winter storm watch. But as of now, winter storm watch in effect. And I do believe we will see blizzard headlines out of this. This is a very, very substantial storm. No question about that. Now, let's take a look at some of the guidance here from the NAM and the high-res NAM. I picked the two models that seem to be doing the best with the solution for the outcome. So, let's start here with tomorrow night. You can see the NAM has a storm north of the Bahamas at 989 millibars. I've been talking about this location for the last couple of days, that this is where this thing would develop. Tomorrow at 10 p.m., it is down to 986. Now watch what happens between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. 986 down to 970. See how fast that intensifies? The NAM depicts that this storm may drop potentially 16 millibars in 3 hours. Absolutely incredible. 986 down to 970 in 3 hours. And you can see obviously the isobars, which are the surface pressure lines, very tight together. That means very, very strong winds with this entire system. Here we are. This is 9Z, this is 4 a.m. Thursday morning. You can see the low is down to 967 millibars here. It continues to move off the north-northeast. Then as we get to 7 a.m., it drops to 962 millibars. Thursday at 10 a.m., it's down to 957. In the afternoon, it's down to 952. We're getting very heavy snowfall now in New England. Probably seeing blizzard conditions at this time in southern New England. Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m., 950 millibar low just outside the benchmark, with the European ensembles, believe it or not, closer and further west at this point, almost near Nantucket, probably almost 71 degrees west, 3940 north. So, I mean, where the NAM has it, I've been watching the NAM and the high-res NAM. It's going to be probably here or a little bit further west, but you can see this would be an extreme impact with this kind of a situation track that is being depicted by the models. But again, very, very heavy snowfall and extreme wind coming out of this. And then by the evening, 7 p.m. Thursday, we're down to 949 millibars coming into the Gulf of Maine, entering the Canadian Maritimes. And the pressure on this, let me see if I have another map. I don't. That was the last one in the series, but I gotta tell you this. This is like tracking a hurricane coming up the coast because the pressure is so low, and the European ensembles are, I mean, there's tons of them in the 940s, low 940s, and there's a few in the mid 930s, 936, 938. So, I mean, this thing going into the 940s is very, very plausible, I think. This is likely, I think, what's going to end up happening. Very, very strong low pressure. Again, the strength of what you see in sometimes Category 4 hurricanes. So this is an extreme low that is developing here. Now, here's the snowfall being depicted by the NAM. You can see central and eastern southern New England, 8 to 10, 15 inches of snow. Again, this is off the standard 10-to-1 ratio. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s to around 30, so these ratios will work. Further west, mid-20s, so maybe a couple inches higher than what you see here. But overall, about a foot to maybe even a foot and a half of snow is going to be coming out of the system at the moment, unless this trends further east, which seems pretty unlikely right now. I'd be planning on 12 to 18 inches of snow, if not 20, depending on how much convective banding we can get out of this. Now, here's the high-res NAM. Thursday morning, you can see again where it has the low. Thursday morning, there's where it has the low. Here's the radar forecast for 10 a.m. Thursday. Here we are with the wind gusts. You can see already wind gusts 40 to 55 miles an hour, even close to 70 on the Cape. Starting to come on in. Here we are in the afternoon. You can see the storm is down to 950 millibars. Here is the radar. Very heavy snow being thrown in. Probably going to see some thunder snow since there's so much upward motion over the region. Though I wouldn't be surprised to get some thunder snow. Here are the wind gusts, 50 to 75 miles an hour. Highest along the coast, 50 to 65. Inland, obviously, a complete blizzard with heavy snow and that kind of wind going on. if that wind can verify, which I think it will. Thursday afternoon, it's off the coast just outside the benchmark, 949 millibars. It looks like they're 950. And very, very low pressure here, too. And I got to look at some of the records, but this may get close to sitting some record low, if you will, recorded pressure. We'll have to see, if it can get this low, if it comes further west. But that's something to keep in mind. And then there's that radar in the afternoon, still very heavy snow continuing. There's the wind gust 50 to 65, if not close to 80 on the Cape. And then in the evening, it starts to lift away, and the snow will begin to taper off shortly after that. This is 7 p.m., the radar forecast for 7 p.m. And there's the wind gust still cranking 50 to 60 miles an hour. Also, one of the big things will be the threat of power outages. Here's the forecast of wind chills on 7 p.m. Thursday evening. You can see wind chills just above zero, so anyone who loses power, this is going to be a brutal, brutal night. And with highs Friday getting in the teens and wind chills below zero, it is going to be nasty. This is a dangerous storm with the cold that comes in right after. And again, there's the low going up in the Halifax, Canada, and the wrap-up of the snow, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. And there again is the wind chills around zero by 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. So again, blizzard conditions on the table and life-threatening cold with the wind chills, especially for people who lose power. This is going to be a nightmare on the table, and the cold does not lift until Sunday, but thankfully by next week, we'll be getting into the 40s with some rain by early next week. But overall, a dangerous storm, and plan for power outages, folks. Plan for power outages. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.